Thank you for joining me. This is Jasmine. Thank you for joining me on the Ethereal Pathways. I am going to do a daily channeled message. I'm not showing the paper today. I don't know. I just wanted to do it this way. You know, I was actually going to go pay my bills this morning and felt like I needed to do a channeled message first. So I believe something does need to come out for some people out there. Again, this is a timeless message, as all my channeled messages are. You can find this at any time. It could be years, weeks, whatever days after I post it. It's for you, because if you're guided to it and it showed up for you and it called to you, then there's a message in here for you. So it's timeless. So again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because there's going to be some words that I channel through that are going to be for certain people, and then some things may not resonate for you. It'll be for somebody else. So just leave, what doesn't resonate for you and take what does, because again, those are signs of confirmation for you that this message is for you. And just take what it is that resonates for you and leave the rest. I am a little bit different of a channel, so I don't use tarot at the moment. I use like writing. So I write out, and this is, probably going to evolve as I go. So I write out words when I meditate that come to me, and usually, from what I've discovered, that's the words are a lot of times the confirmations for certain people. It could be a car model, it can be anything, a specific location. I see scenes of people doing things sometimes. So again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But I write words down, or like a scene down on paper. And then here lately, I've been posting the picture of the channel message piece of paper on my channel too, so people can go back and look up certain things, like the spiritual meaning of certain things. A lot of times animal totems will come through, like certain animals. So I always encourage people to go Google that stuff. I have posted some of the things I've looked up from some of these to help people out. Sometimes I do that, so be on the lookout for that. But I just want to let you know how my channeling works. So it comes through. I hear words, and then I see visions sometimes. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and clear. I cleared the space before I recorded the video. I'm going to go ahead and meditate for a few moments. If you're on YouTube, you can hold down. If you don't want to sit and wait, it may take a minute or two, depending on, how long I need to connect to start getting messages. Sometimes it happens pretty quick. Sometimes it takes a minute or two. But you can feel free to fast forward through this part if you don't want to wait. Please move right through. What does the collective need to know today? What messages does the collective need to have? Halo is coming through. Word. A second. I just heard the word teeter, like I guess teeter-totter. But teeter, maybe that's a nickname for somebody. Message, I don't know. That's maybe somebody's about to get a message from somebody they're not expecting a message from. I heard a message from afar. Training, the word training. Maybe somebody is training in some kind of field or of work, like You're training maybe in a spiritual practice or something, or Cosmo, word Cosmo is coming through. I don't know if that's the name of somebody's pet or something. Station wagon. I don't know if somebody has a station wagon. Those are a little bit older vehicles. My parents had them when we were kids. They had a few of them, 2 or 3 of them. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. These could correlate with you in your past or present or future. Maybe a few days after you watch this, you may see some things that, and you remember, came through on this message. Again, use it as signs of confirmation. I'm hearing X marks the spot. So that'll mean something for somebody. I'm seeing a map, like somebody holding a map. It looks like a regular road map or a map of an area. So I don't know if somebody's mapping something or they're, I think that came out in the last channel message on Friday. I don't know if somebody's in oil, the oil industry. I'm seeing like drilling going on into the land, and then I heard fracking. So maybe somebody watching this video has something to do with the oil industry. Seeing the number 22, 717, 711. 333, 444. Trying to see what this is that I'm seeing. Trying to get clarity. It looks like a sandstorm approaching. I'm going to look up that. And I encourage you to look that up too. Like spiritual meaning of sandstorm approaching. Maybe there's something specific that's different than a sandstorm as a regular storm. Because I did channel through a storm, seeing somebody watching a storm approaching the other day. But this is an actual sandstorm, not like a rainstorm like I saw the other day that had thunder and lightning and rain. So maybe there's something different and symbolic about a sandstorm. I'm seeing, what are these things called over in, it's not Saudi Arabia. What is the name of those? They're artificial islands, and I cannot remember the name of them, but I'm seeing them from the air. Like if I were in a helicopter above them or a plane, and you could see them very clearly from above. So I don't know if somebody is in the oil industry and either you live over in that region of the world and you're watching this, or you work in the oil industry and you've traveled over there with work to work around those in that area. I'm trying to remember the name of those islands. I can't remember. And I don't know if it's in Saudi Arabia, but I think it is. I believe it is. It's in that region. So I'm going to write down Saudi Arabia, man-made islands, because I cannot remember the name of those. But they look like palm leaves, the way that they're laid out. So again, use these as signs of confirmation that whatever message comes out in this reading is for you. There's something in here for you. These are signs of confirmation for different people. I'm seeing a blue heeler dog. That's a particular dog breed. So, got like a grayish blue color to the coat, but that'll relate to somebody. And I see it like a handkerchief tied around his neck. Like a decorative thing, like after they go get grooming. A lot of times the groomers will do that. Australia is coming through. Well, that would relate to the blue heeler dog, I guess, because that's where that breed is from what I believe. I'm seeing a koala, which would be Australia. I'm seeing an old Ford truck, like an old one. I don't know what year range, but it's got the smaller truck bed. I guess that would be considered a classic vehicle. I'm guessing that's going to be like in the 50s, 60s, somewhere in there. I don't know, again, what year model this would be, but I'm seeing it from the back. Like if I'm walking up to it from the back, I'm seeing that the truck bed itself, like it comes in after the cab, and the truck bed is smaller than the typical newer Fords. So I don't know what year that would be. Seeing a rattlesnake. Look up the spiritual meaning of what the rattlesnake means. I'm going to look that up too for myself because I don't know what it means. But I'm seeing that. I've seen a rattler coiled up, shaking its tail and doing its tongue, like in its defensive pose. Omens. Omen is a word coming through, or omens. Maybe you believe in certain omens in your culture or your belief system you've been raised with, or somebody taught you about certain omens. So be on the watch out for omens coming and showing up in your life. If you're not sure what the meaning is, look it up. I'm seeing a crow, like a raven or a crow again. Maybe that's an omen for somebody. That comes up a lot here lately. But I just saw it kind of like sitting there on the ground, just kind of like looking, I'm seeing a full moon. That could be an omen, I guess. I don't know. For somebody, I don't know. But I'm seeing a clear sky with a full moon in it. So no, that's timing for somebody. That means something to somebody. Maybe they do full moon rituals. I don't know. Or that's timing for something that's going to happen in their life. I'm seeing a coyote. I'm hearing square. Don't know what that means for somebody, but that's word that just came through. Excuse me. Hiccup. I think somebody is a fisherman too. I'm seeing a boat that looks like it's in the deep sea. It looks like Is this a crab fishing boat? Like the kind that goes out in the Arctic, and puts down pots for king crab. And I'm seeing it's like raining and huge swells are, crashing kind of over the side, and the water's going, across the boat. And there's big pots, like they call them pots, but they're like the little cages on top of the deck of the boat. But it's like during like raining, I'm seeing people running around wearing yellow, rain jackets, obviously, trying to work, collecting the pots or whatever they're doing because of the storm. So I'm going to write that down. Crab, like king crab fishing in a sea storm with rain and large swells. I'm seeing Cancer, the crab, which is the logo for Cancer. So maybe somebody's a Cancer or has Cancer prominently in their chart. I'm going to write that down. Cancer, astrological sign. Or maybe it's a logo that somebody has. I don't know, but I'm actually seeing the Cancer crab like you see on the astrological signs. So I'm seeing a Leo, and I'm hearing Leo. The logo of the lion. Again, some of these words I think are going to mean more than one thing for different people. Leo, lion, maybe somebody's animal totem is a lion, but also I'm getting the sign of Leo. Maybe somebody's dog is named Leo or animal named Leo. So, I mean, it can mean different things for different people. So just keep your mind open for that. Pisces, I just heard. What else, Spirit? I'm seeing a man with like he's looks like he's lighter skinned with like a black mustache and a goatee that kind of hangs down a little bit. So that could mean something for somebody. That could be, some sign. What's the message, Spirit? Anything else that needs to come through for signs, a confirmation for the collective in this message? And what is the message that you wish to convey? Seeing a red stone. It's a polished stone. I don't know what the name of this stone is. I am hearing carnelian. I think that's a orangish brown stone, but no, this is more of a red stone. So maybe that's two separate things for different people. So I'm going to write them down separately. I'm going to try to look up different red stones. Usually, I don't know, sometimes, you know, the color red has been coming out a lot for grounding. That's root chakra, and I'm going to write down root chakra because that is coming through too. For grounding, some people need to ground. This has been coming out a lot in the readings lately. Because I think there's a lot of changes coming, and we are now beginning to go through, and it's going to be imperative for people to ground themselves, either in nature, go put your bare feet on the ground, for, you know, a few minutes, period of time. Maybe, you know, close your eyes and breathe in and out. Imagine, you know, like your energy going into the earth, and then the earth, you know, reciprocating and bringing energy up through your body, up through your chakra systems on your spine. That's a good visual exercise to do that. I do that myself. And that helps make me feel more grounded. Breath work is another thing I'm getting for people to do as a form of grounding. So if you're guided to the color red right now, it's for a reason, either to wear red or different shades of red. It could be a reddish brown. It could be whatever, you know, bright red. Again, that's like related, the color red's related to the root chakra for grounding. Also maybe guided to buy or purchase certain stones or look into certain stones for grounding. I'm, you know, just being guided to tell people that grounding is going to be very imperative right now and for the next however long. I'm hearing months, even years, you know, the next couple of years especially, I'm feeling. Because there's going to be some major changes coming. I don't, you know, specifically, I'm being told not to state specific things, but there's going to be some things that are coming globally, I'm hearing. So, and I don't think it's to put anybody in fear. I never want to do that in any of my readings, so don't go there. Don't go into fear. This is just a message coming through for the collective that's watching this video that, you know, grounding is going to be very important over the next several months and couple years. So regularly ground yourself daily. Daily, I'm hearing daily. It's going to be imperative because things are going to be moving fast. Things are going to be coming and going, and whirlwind, you know, just like a lot of changes are coming. Again, do not go into fear when you're hearing this message. That's not why this is coming. It's just a message that you need to stay grounded. Okay. That's not just in a logical sense. That's in, you're going to feel maybe anxiety. I'm going to write this down. Let me take a moment to write this down because it's coming so fast. Stay grounded. Imperative for the next few months to years. And really grounding is good anyway. It's really should be a daily practice for people because we are going through an ascension as a collective on this earth. And it's a shakeup. It's to wake us up. It's to remove what no longer serves us in our lives to help us ascend and become better. humans and better, overall to each other. So, grounding is really important anyway, but I feel like I'm feeling a emphasis on even more so is what I'm getting at. I just wanted to clarify that. Because there's a lot of changes coming. And if you don't know, I did list a couple of different ways you can ground. Earthing is probably the most commonly known. And that goes, even natives, cultures have known about this for, long, long time. That the importance of walking on the earth, barefoot and connecting. And that actually has scientific, they can now gauge that with, scientific studies and stuff now. They've been, studying that. I think there's been a documentary out about that, about the importance and stuff about grounding. But you can do it in other ways too. Salt baths, Epsom salt baths. Hot Epsom salt baths are good. If you can't get outside, maybe it's raining, whatever, or you're not in a place where it's easy to do that. You know what I mean? The halo, I'm seeing, the halo is coming back up again. Halo, what is this, Spirit? Crown chakra. Clear and protect your crown chakra right now. I'm seeing purple too. You can, some of you may wear headdresses or covering, wear those at night when you're sleeping. Also, regularly, clear the energy. You can visualize, white divine light coming down through crown chakra to help clear. Purple, visualize the color. I believe it's purple. I think for the crown chakra, yes. You can visualize, divine purple and white light cleansing that area. But there's different ways to do that. You can Google that. But I'm being guided to tell people that, and I'm going to take this advice myself, to clear and protect the crown chakra daily, especially before you go to bed at night, because it's the most vulnerable there, in your dream state when you're traveling astrally. Is there any other messages, Spirit, that you need for this collective message that need to be spoken? Does somebody need to hear something in particular before I close this out? I'm hearing carnelian again. That's important for somebody, that stone. So if you don't have that, go check into that. I'm seeing ravens again as messengers for somebody. Spirit messengers, watchers also, I'm hearing. Okay, I'll write that down. And I'm seeing an owl in my mind's eye, and in particular, it's a barn owl. I'm running out of space on my piece of paper. I even got a bigger piece of paper today. And that's an animal totem, and that's a message, so Google that, the spiritual meaning of a barn owl. And it'll mean something for you. Animal totem. Any other messages? I'm gonna say this, and I'm hoping YouTube does not, I'm gonna try to word this where YouTube does not flag this video, because this is coming through to sacral. And when I get sacral chakra, clearing, sacral chakra, where color is related to the sacral chakra. Carnelian might be one of those stones, I don't know. So let me get that. Some of you, what I was getting, and I'm just gonna, again, we'll try to word this where it's not gonna get flagged by YouTube. I'm gonna say right now, this video is for 18 and older. I should have said that at the beginning, but I didn't know what messages are gonna come through. So sacral energy, if you're new to spirituality and you don't know what the chakra system is, you can Google it. But there's different energy centers up and down the spine that help integrate the soul body in with the physical human body matrix. And these energy centers can get blockages in them, and or they can be clouded up with different things that we experience in this life, ancestral trauma, and wounds that need to be cleared, even patterns, toxic patterns, things like that. Not being our true selves is basically another way that they can become blocked. But sacral, somebody is working on clearing their sacral chakra, but also what I'm hearing is the SE, you know what I mean? Energy is important. It's very potent, and it can be used as a form of manifestation, but it should be held very sacred. So be careful who you, again, I gotta say it because it's coming to me. Be careful who you lie with. Let me gonna put it that way. If you're a female, and even males, be very careful and selective about who you share that energy with and that act with. Let's put it that way. Because it can muddy up your chakras and your sacral, and create further attachments, I'm hearing, that you don't need, as you're trying to already clear out old patterns and toxic things. So that's a message for somebody or a group of people. For this message, that's a very specific message. Again, there's no judgment here coming from me. These are just messages coming through for the collective that is watching this video. So there's somebody in this video that needed to hear that. You may be called to go abstinent for a little while, to clear out any energies that are in that sacral area. That's something actually that I was guided to do, and I didn't even know that I was guided to do that. I mean, I did, but I never thought of it in a spiritual sense. I just knew I needed to work on myself, because I didn't want to repeat toxic patterns in relationships. And I had no idea at that time when I made that decision that was guided by my soul, by spirit, to help clear out all of that, and entities or attachments, whatever you want to believe, and energy out of the sacral area. It's like a form of purification when you go abstinent for a while. I'm not saying you don't self-pleasure, you know what I mean? I'm just saying don't mix your energy and have that act with others for a period of time. You may be guided to do that. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying you may be guided to do that. So maybe listen to that. Maybe somebody's been contemplating that. Maybe this is your sign of confirmation. Again, always follow your own intuition and your own guidance. I always say this in all of my videos because that is what I will always say. You know, don't use me as the end all be all. These are really, these collective messages, I was being guided to do these, are for a reason, for the beginning of your spiritual awakening journey. For those newly awakened and are in the process of waking up, maybe you're early on in your journey and you need signs of confirmation before you build that confidence in your own intuition. And that's why I do these. Eventually you will have no need to watch these videos. I'm discovering that for myself, for watching others. Eventually you will learn to trust yourself and your own intuition. And that's why I do these videos as the beginning of that process, where you're waking up to abilities and being guided to certain things you don't know why. I'm supposed to be a guide to help those newly awakening souls, to help guide them and give them confirmations, words of confirmation, to follow their own intuition. And by giving them specific signs in these messages, you know, that's your signs of confirmation. Again, that you're hearing correctly, you're being guided correctly, or go look at something that came through, like, spirit, animal, totems, whatever, or stones or whatever. Is that all spirit? Is there anything else? Any personal messages that anybody needs to hear in particular? By the way, I'm being guided to bring this back up because when I had the other night, I believe it was Friday afternoon, like on my lunch break, I tried to record a collective channel message. I ended up sharing it after the fact. Like, I already had the words. I think I posted that. That was my last video. Because I was having technical issues with my phone, and then my phone storage basically got full, and I had to clear out a bunch of old videos and storage on my phone to be able to record new messages. And I got a message in the original channeled message while thought I was recording it. Apparently it didn't record, the volume or whatever was cut out because my mic cut out. One of the messages I thought is being brought back to me to speak because it needs to go out to somebody. What was it? I just had it and it's gone. What is it, spirit? Oh, it's coming back. So somebody was contemplating getting granite countertops in their kitchen and in their house, maybe bathrooms too. The confirmation that's for somebody, it's coming back up for a reason, was that this is your confirmation to get the granite countertops. Again, use your own intuition. Like, if you're already like being pulled to it, then that's something for you. Don't let me be the end all be all decision maker. Again, use your own intuition. If you're being pulled to something for a reason, it's for a reason. It's for a good reason. Granite is, and putting it in our kitchen, we were being guided, I believe, by, God, Spirit, and Gaia, the earth, that to help us all ground and connect to the earth through stones and crystals. And granite is one of those things that a lot of times, we'll be guided to get in our house, or we'll be guided to get a house particularly with granite countertops. And that's for a reason. Our spirit knows what we need. So I think that's a word that somebody needed to hear as a sign of confirmation that they were being pulled to that. And that's a sign of confirmation of, yes, that's the decision you're trying to make, then that's for you. So again, follow your guidance. But yes, somebody was trying to make a decision about granite countertops the other day, and that didn't make it out in that collective message because of the glitches. And I ended up having to record an afterwards video, which I posted. But that didn't make it in that afterward video. So somebody needed to hear that. Anything else, Spirit, before we close this message? that's it I'm hearing. So thank you so much for everybody for, joining me on this collective message. I hope you got signs of confirmation you needed to hear. And or I hope this helps you in some way. I would love to hear how any of these signs that I gave through this message were confirmations for you. So please share that. I love to hear that from people. And I greatly appreciate all of your support. Prayers, you can please like, comment, subscribe if you feel guided to, and you can hit the share button and copy the link and not have to share it for it to hit the algorithm. That takes like a few seconds. So, if you're guided to do that, I'm very thankful for any help and assistance you could offer my channel to grow and be shown in front of more people so these people can get these messages that need to get them. Again, thank you so much for all your love and support, and I hope to catch you in a future reading, and I leave you in love and light. Thank you.